Okay, so we have a new Avengers Doomsday trailer, and yeah, man, I woke up this morning and yeah, I saw that we have a new Avengers Doomsday trailer. I knew that D23 was going on last night, and I knew that we could have potentially, or we're going to potentially get like a Avengers Doomsday trailer, but I was not 100% sure if we were actually going to get anything, and so last night I was like, okay, if we do get anything, I'll just talk about it, tomorrow, and everything. And so I went to bed, woke up today, and yeah, bro, we have a new Avengers Doomsday trailer, and I wanted to give my opinions on it real quick and everything. And so with that, initial reaction to this trailer, or my first time watching it, because I watched it a couple of times, is that I think this is better than the last trailer, but I don't think necessarily by much. I don't know. Going into this movie, my last couple of videos, or the last video that I did specifically on the first trailer, I don't know, my general consensus was that everything that they were showing off in that trailer, or in the first trailer, I thought looked cool. We got, cool shots of Doctor Doom fighting Thor in the last movie. We got to see the X-Men in the last trailer and everything. Obviously, we got Chris Evans back as Steve Rogers, holding freaking Thor's hammer and everything, and that looked cool. Cyclops, we got Cyclops in his original X-Men costume. That looked cool. We got freaking Gambit versus Shang-Chi in that trailer. We got a lot of cool moments in that trailer, but it wasn't enough for me to actually get excited for the movie. It wasn't enough for me to actually, I don't know, be like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to be a good movie. And so going into this trailer, I genuinely did want to like this trailer more than the last trailer. I wanted this trailer to prove to me that this movie does have the potential of being good, and not just good just because there's nostalgia involved and you have all these hype moments. And watching this trailer for the first time, and I don't know, my initial reaction to it was okay, a lot of this I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying, I don't know, for having my opinion on this, but at the end of the day, if I'm gonna give my opinion on something, I want it to be my actual opinion and my honest thoughts, and not just me lying and everything. And so in my opinion, I thought this trailer was fine. I think I liked it a little bit more than the last trailer. I think the parts with Doctor Doom, I don't know, some of the shots that they had in this trailer, I do think he looks costume-wise and voice-wise, I think it is working for me. Obviously the first shot in the trailer, we had him sitting on the throne and everything, and I thought that shot looked cool. I mean, just the costume itself, I think looks really good. I mean, it looks straight out of the comic books, and so to me, I was like, okay, the costume looks really good. The dude's ore farming every chance every chance that he can get, him just standing around, everything. I mean, he looks cool in my opinion. And also his voice, I know Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom in this movie, and I guess my main concerns is could, I don't know, Robert Downey Jr. pull off a convincing Doctor Doom portrayal, because we all know him as Tony Stark, and would that be weird? Would it work? But yeah, I didn't realize until I saw someone talk about it that yeah, we actually did hear his voice in the last trailer, and we hear it in this trailer as well. And I gotta say, I think it is a convincing, I guess he's doing a Latvian accent, and so I think it sounds believable enough in my opinion. And so okay, I was like, Doctor Doom, he looks cool in this movie. His voice, it sounds cool in this movie. Okay, so I mean, and his costume, I think all of that is working for me so far. But in the beginning of the trailer, we get a monologue from Sue Storm talking about how Victor, And I'm assuming that like I think this is confirmation, because I wasn't really sure about this from the Fantastic Four movie, if it was like they were doing like a thing to where like the Fantastic Four didn't know Doctor Doom and Doctor Doom was just some person from like a different universe and it wasn't their version of Doctor Doom. But no, it is I guess like Robert Downey Jr.'s version of Doctor Doom is that version of, or I guess like it's that version of the Fantastic Four's Doctor Doom. And so I wasn't really sure of that, because we do see in this trailer Reed's talking to Doctor Doom, and that was like another concern that people had, is that like, you know, it seemed like Steve Rogers, or like it was seeming like they were going to make Steve Rogers and like Doctor Doom have like the main rivalry in this movie, or like Thor, or like whatever. And obviously, you know, if you know from the comic books, Doctor Doom is the main villain of the Fantastic Four, so it would make sense that like him and the Fantastic Four have like this past history and like this knowledge of knowing each other and like everything. And so it is nice to see that they are keeping that intact, because like I said, we get that beginning speech slash monologue of Sue talking about how like, you know, Victor used to be kind, he used to be different, and then he, you know, I guess became evil, he became like a monster or something like that. And I'm assuming we're going to get the reason why he became Doctor Doom in this movie. We have like that mural, and I think it was like in the poster for like this movie as well, but we get that mural of, which I don't know if it's his like his wife or kid, or if it's his like, if it's his mom, or if it's him, because in the comic books, like Doctor Doom's like origin story of like how he became like evil, it involved like his mother or something like that. And so I'm trying to like, I don't know, I'm trying to like think, are they going the route of like it's gonna be his mom and he loses his mom, or if it's like, is it because he lost like his wife in children? I have no idea which like way they're gonna go with that. But yeah, that like opening like monologue from Sue Storm, like talking about Doctor Doom, it did kind of remind me of like Gamora from Infinity War, and how like she was talking about like Thanos in that moment and how like evil Thanos was. So it kind of reminded me of that a little bit. But yeah, we do get shots of like just different characters in this movie. We get a shot of Ian McKellen as Magneto. We get a shot of freaking Gambit. We get a shot of Steve Rogers. We get a shot of Shang-Chi in this movie. I mean, Shang-Chi is in this movie. I'm really hoping that like Shang-Chi is just not like a backdrop character in this movie. I don't know. The same with like Sam Wilson's Captain America. I hope they actually do try to incorporate their character in a meaningful way, and I hope they're not like sidelined. In my opinion, because I don't know, that's just like my main concern, because I know you got Chris Evans back for this movie. I know like Thor's in this movie, and Thor, like I have nothing wrong with Thor being like one of the main characters in this movie, because it's not like he died and came back or like whatever. Like he's been consistently with the MCU after Endgame, and so it would make sense why he's in this movie as well. So I have no problem with that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure Sam Wilson's Captain America did not show up at all in this new trailer. I just now realized that. And I'm just sitting up here just like, first, you freaking canceled Blade. And second, you recently canceled Wonder Man. And now you freaking sidelining Sam Wilson as Captain America? I ain't gonna lie, Marvel, you're not beating those racist allegations. You're not beating those racist allegations. All right, let me stop. I do like that shot of Thor just like just sitting down, and he just looks like he's like in this like rethinking his life, like I don't know, like pose. I don't know what to call it. Bruh, I can't believe that I'm stuck with the freaking Thunderbolts. All they can do is punch and shoot. How the freaking am I gonna take down Doctor Doom with this sorry ass team? Overall, I think this trailer is a little bit better than the first trailer. I think it does a better job of showing off, I don't know, how cool Doctor Doom looks. I mean, we get that ending shot of him like raising sentinels from the ground, and we got him freaking freaking 1v1ing Thor and like winning, and so like they're showing like Doctor Doom is like super powerful and like everything, and so but I don't know. And this is the problem that I had with the last trailer. I feel like the main issue that I have is like, I don't know, they're telling us how like evil Doctor Doom is. They have all these different shots of like the characters or like the superhero or like the superheroes like scared and afraid and everything like that, and it's supposed to feel like a threatening force is coming, and that like everything is gonna get wrecked and everything is gonna be insane. But for me personally, and I feel like a lot of other people are not gonna agree with me with like when I say this, I'm just not on the level that I'm on with Avengers, like, well, how I was with Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. And I know I've said this so many times. I've said this so many times, but like, and this is the only word that I can think of, like, because this is the main thing, is that like there is no buildup, unfortunately. And I know, you can make the argument that like, well, Thanos, he never had any build up or anything, or he just sat in a chair or like whatever. And I think there was like an interview with like Kevin Feige, in he was talking about how like, well, I mean, Thanos didn't have like any build up, like just as much as like Doctor Doom. And like, I was like, I don't know, when I saw that interview, I was like, I get it, he's trying to promote this movie and everything, but like, I disagree with that. Like, I know a lot of people would say, and I agree with the fact that like, yes, did his character not get fleshed out until Avengers Infinity War? Yes, like we got in that movie, we basically got like his backstory and like why, or the motivations of like why he's doing what he's doing. And yes, a lot of the like all of his like cameos were like just like in post-credit scenes, and were like him sitting in a chair. But like, bro, are we just gonna sit up here and act like we did not flesh out like the whole entire Infinity Saga with the Infinity Stones? And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the Infinity Stones are heavily tied to Thanos, and so by proxy, like, we know that like Thanos is going to be the main villain of like Infinity War and Endgame just by that. I mean, the Infinity Stones were like heavily tied to most not all MCU movies, but most of the MCU movies dealt with the Infinity Stones in some way or shape or form. And I get it, like with, I get why they chose to go with Doctor Doom in this movie. Mainly because, Jonathan Majors, they couldn't make that thing work with him and Kang and everything. And like, you could say that like, they could have just recasted the character, and they could have done that. But like, also, I think it was like, it was the Jonathan Majors thing, but it was also just the fact of like, it just seemed like no one, or people weren't as excited for like Kang being the main villain as they were for Thanos. And so it was like, okay, I get it, that's why you want to pivot. But if you're gonna pivot, if you're going to make this drastic change, I don't know, like, to me, like, it's gotta make sense. And like, you bring back Robert Downey Jr., and like, I get it, you're trying to put butts in seats and everything, and that's fine, I guess. But like, I feel like it's just at the cost of like actually trying to like tell a compelling story with Doctor Doom. And I'm not saying they can't do that with this movie and Secret Wars, but like, you bring back Chris Evans as Steve Rogers when like, honestly, you really didn't need to. And it kind of just feels like you're trying to play off people's nostalgia. Even the freaking like Sentinels like moment that they had with Doctor Doom being like, hell answers to me because I am Doom, and like he had the Sentinels in the background. Like, I know that was supposed to be like a hype moment, but even to me, I was like, I don't really know if I don't know. Like, the Sentinels, like, they're X-Men, like, villains or, like, whatever, but, like, why is Doctor Doom, I don't know. Like, it didn't, like, feel earned to me, all the stuff that they were doing in the trailer. And, listen, all that can change by the time this movie comes out, and this movie could be amazing, this movie could be great, I could be completely wrong, but I'm, at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna be completely honest in like everything, and what I'm seeing right now is just I don't know. It's like, it's not getting me excited, unfortunately. But yeah, the best analogy that I can make is that, like, it feels like there's just like a bunch of people, right? And all of these people are like inside of a box, right? And all these people are enjoying this thing. They're hyped for this thing. They're enjoying this thing. All of these people are huddled together in this one box. And then I'm like outside of the box, right? And like I'm just looking, I'm like looking outside into like whatever, like what, like the thing that people like are enjoying or excited for. And it feels like I can't be excited for that thing like everyone else is. Like I see like everyone else making videos about how like they're excited and they're watching the trailer and they're getting excited for this movie, and like I wish I could have that. I wish I could be excited for this movie, but I'm just not there. And I don't know what it is. I think it's just like a combination of like I said, there has been no real buildup for this movie, and like it just feels like everything that they're showing so far, not everything, it just feels like the stuff that they're showing is like it's supposed to get you hyped for the movie. It's supposed to get you like excited, but it just feels like there's no like, I don't know, it feels like there's no heart behind that hype. There's no like actual like story behind that hype. Not yet, at least for me. I don't know. I will just have to see what the movie comes out. But yeah, man, those are my thoughts and opinions on the Avengers Doomsday trailer. I know a lot of people are excited for this movie, and I want to know in the comments down below, are you excited for Avengers Doomsday? Did this trailer get you excited for the movie, or are you not excited for Avengers Doomsday? I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment sections below. But yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I will see you guys on the next one. So yeah, bye.